Hello everyone, this is theStC here, and I'm back with some more Starcraft 2 action. This time it is going to be between Liquid TLO, also known as the Little One, also known as a Total Nerd Baller, down in the bottom right side. And up in the top left side, it is going to be TT's Pig, who I do not believe I have cast in the past, but he is a professional player from Australia. And I know there's a lot of Australians out there. I know you're all should be raising your hands right now. It's okay, no one will see. Because I know my demographics, man. Australia is one of my top most viewed areas in the world. So a lot of people down under do love StarCraft 2. And this guy's obviously no different, as he is a professional player. He has had quite a bit of success in a lot of cups, not really in a lot of live tournaments or anything like that. But he is also, according to Wikipedia, he is was currently attending college, but has put that on hold to pursue his career in professional gaming. A lot of people give people hard times, or give these players hard times for putting college on hold to do what they love. But you know what? They're happy, they're having fun, and they are playing a video game for a living, so more power to them. And Liquid TLO, most of you already know him, one of the most well-known Zergs out there, and I wanted to see how exactly good is he going to play in this pool play. This is once again from the Odnoklassniki tournament, the second one, which is the One Nation of Gamers. I posted a link down below in the last videos, and I suppose I will post one down below as well. But basically, it's barcrafts that have come together to raise money to put on these events, which, if you ask me, that is phenomenal. That's exactly what esports needs to be, is a major grassroots movement. And that's what they're kind of striving for. So big shout out to them. And there's a lot of cool matchups that were from that tournament that I don't think have been uploaded really all that much to YouTube. So I figured, why not cover them? Look at that little Automaton 2000. Now, I do want to mention, on a complete side note, that right before I started casting this video, I noticed my light and door. My door was open and my lights were on, so I got up to go turn those off. My chair starts spinning really fast from how I got up, and then I just blindly walked and sat down, and I sat down perfectly, and then my chair automatically rotated to get me into position for the cast. I just felt so badass. I felt like I wish I was recording that. It should have been in a movie or something, but that means I am super ready for this cast. Hopefully you guys are ready as well. And thank you for everyone who has been thumbs-upping my videos. To be completely honest, it takes half a second and is the best way to help me out. So if you like my stuff, a thumbs up is awesome. And I would give you a high five, but then I would have to give around 2,000 to 3,000 high fives, and that just does not seem very hygienic. Now, we do have 4 drones transferred over there for Pig, as he did decide to go ahead and go for his expand much earlier than TLO, but that does also mean that his queen is going to be a little bit delayed. That's just kind of how these builds end up working out, is that the Little One will have 1 queen before his opponent has any, but his opponent will have 2 before TLO has 2, so it really kind of balances out. And also, the second queen is going to automatically spawn at this expansion. It does allow you to get the inject larvas. I mean, look at the timing of these 2 queens. I'm clicking between both hatcheries, and you can see they are virtually identical. That does mean that your inject larvas automatically line up, and that's something that a lot of Zerg players hate, I would say, is when your queens get all out of order, and then you're like, well, do I act like a noob and just wait for them to sync up, or do I nail every single time and then have to worry about doing the multitude extra actions per minute that are required? But right now, Pig going to be doing those double injects, and the inject larva down right there for TLO as well. Of course, this game is a ZvZ, which I'm sure you guys have figured out by now, but the reason I like to bring that up is because this matchup is so volatile. This is like running through a minefield, juggling grenades, getting shot at by rockets, and also you're riding on top of one of those hoverboards from Back to the Future, which do set off landmines, by the way. So that is about how volatile this matchup is, and it's something that a lot of Zerg players, this does end up being their least favorite matchup. A lot of Zergs do hate ZvP as well, but I would say consistently over the years, taking into consideration all the patches and everything else, this matchup, for a lot of Zerg players, at least that I've talked to, they just hate it because sometimes it does feel a little bit like a coin toss. Now, of course, micro and decision-making and all that does come into play, but in the early stage of the game, there can be quite the coin toss aspect to it. Although right now, both these players deciding to pocket the change, not do any coin flips, and instead just kind of sit back and play defensively. I mean, look at TLO. What is up with his base? Completely defensive up here, while Pig is just now going to be throwing down that first spine crawler. That is a very heavily delayed spine crawler as well. I mean, if a super all-in rush snuck out by TLO, he would have been in a lot of trouble, but neither player is going for that. Instead, they're just going for massive amounts of drones. Look at this, 36 drones to 42. TLO is in the lead there, but Pig is going for a third base already. Extremely early third base here for Pig, so he's going to have to play defensively and prepare for what could potentially be a two-base timing from TLO, and a very powerful one at that, because he is going to have 3 hatcheries with the Roach Warren, and he also has 3 queens, 1, 2, and 3, so he's going to be injecting larvae all day long. He is going to be getting the lair right there. Pig is able to scout it, almost somehow makes that ling into the main base. Wasn't able to get up that ramp, but he does know right now that he needs to play defensively. Looks like as soon as he spotted that lair, he's going to go ahead and throw down a lair of his own. He doesn't know if TLO is planning for a 2-base Muta, if he's planning to go for a Roach Hydra, or if he's just planning to go mass Roach with a lot of upgrades. Right now he is going to be getting one of the upgrades, and we also have a third base on the way for TLO. So this is not something you see very often in ZvZ. This does potentially mean that we have a long game kind of basically gearing up. If there's any way you're going to have a long game, it's going to be like this. But the problem is that if one of these players decides to do a big swell of units while the other player is making drones, then the game can still end almost immediately, very abruptly indeed. Does look like he may get a couple of Zergling kills, or a couple of drone kills with the Zerglings. Decides to chase down this drone up here, but now he has committed to his attack, but he could get this round on TLO's Zerglings if he decides to commit right here, which he does. And good micro there by Pig, keeping that one Ling alive as long as he possibly can to surround half of the army, and then he's going to finish off the rest. So Pig coming out ahead right there. A bit of a mistake by TLO. He may actually let this hatchery fall, although 2 roaches up here may try and save it. I don't think they possibly can, though. He is focusing down a couple of Lings, but he's got to lose these 2 roaches as well. So TLO already off to not the best start. Or is he going to lose those 2 roaches? Nope, just the one. Not the best start here for TLO, and by start, I mean kind of transitioning into the mid-game. Pig has had a bit of momentum, but there's a heavy supply lead for TLO. TLO just recently lost his drone lead, but part of the problem is that this expansion is fully operational for Pig now. And TLO, like I was saying, has a huge swell of units. He does have his Nidus Worm on the way. A very peculiar timing for that Nidus. It is going to be going down at the third base, and he should begin unloading any units that may be inside. Looks like it is going to be roaches, and doing this with roaches is huge because roaches normally move slowly out across the map, but getting the roaches to the front line could spell disaster for Pig. Now he's going to potentially lose his third base, and he may just do a full-on retreat back to his natural, and I think this is exactly what he needs to do, just try and power up a bunch of roaches and then move out with what he's got. But you got to remember that TLO with the Nidus Worm could very easily drop it right here. He's going to. The Banelings don't even realize this is happening. No, the Queens do spot it, but too little too late. The roaches are here. This is not something you see very often in ZvZ, so I am not surprised that Pig was completely unprepared for. And look at that, he loads them back into the Nidus Worm right here and then transfers them back into the main base. TLO being a total boss, but does he actually have enough? He is even in upgrades. It's just that Pig has the armor while TLO has the attack. And I'm just going to bring up the units tab. We can see exactly the numbers here are favoring TLO in the drones, the queens, and the roaches. So basically everything that matters right now is going to be favoring TLO, trying to microwave as best he can, but the spot is not very good for him. I believe he's going to end up losing right now. Was that the Roach Warren that got taken out right there? I believe that it was, so no more roaches going to be produced here. He's trying to take out the Nidus Worm, but taking so much damage while he's doing it. Yes, he is forced to throw down yet another Nidus, or not a Nidus, but a Roach Warren right there. So could even lose the Baneling Nest. Honestly, the Baneling Nest at this point is not that important. It's really that spawning pool that if he kills it, it's basically GG for Pig. You can see Pig's resources are starting to get higher and higher. He does say, haha, GG, well played. The reason he's saying the haha is because of that Nidus Worm actually using one in the ZvZ. Probably the least likely time that you're ever going to see a Nidus Worm utilized, and that was amazing. TLO, this is why we love you. So playing very well in the group play. If you guys missed the last series, well, just know that if you're waiting for games 2 and potentially 3 to upload from this series, go watch those games, as they are outstanding indeed. So I'm going to be trying to cover a lot of games over the weekend because the IPL is going on this weekend. PAX is also going on this weekend, which means that a lot of the casters and a lot of the StarCraft 2 talent, the players themselves, are gone. So that means less live streams, less VODs on YouTube. It does mean there are some live events going on, but I want to try and fill in those little gaps. So make sure to check back during the downtime on those events. I don't know, I'm sure there's somewhere in the world where the IPL is on at a completely horrendous time. But either way, I'm going to be casting a lot of games this weekend because I'm a total nerd baller and I love staying at home talking about StarCraft. So if you guys enjoy it, we're going to move on to game number 2, and I'll see you guys next time. sounds. And also look at the melt of this flying through the air. Oh my god, that's so awesome. I love making Overlord sounds. I love that. I'm so sorry if you guys hate it. Anyways, you guys are awesome.